My dear students in Business Administration Department, today our third lecture and chapter 2, the marketing research process. It's an introduction to the marketing research process. This chapter objective, we will discuss about the definition of marketing research, types of the marketing research or the classification of the types of the marketing research, marketing research process, the 6 stages of this process. Number 4, rules of marketing research in the decision making. Marketing research have several rules for the decision makers to take a good decisions in the problems and situation. Number 5, ethics in research. What we mean with the marketing research or the marketing research process. It's the systematic and objective identification, collection, analysis, and use of information for the purpose of improving decision-making process in marketing. This marketing research important because now a company can make more informed decision about its offerings. For example, Toyota Saturn found that they couldn't sell their cars because of language differences, all this by making the marketing research. Why and where we can making this marketing research? The marketing research can be done in the selling concept or in the marketing concept. The selling concept may start from the factory and focus on existing products and means selling and promoting, then ends in profits through sales volumes. But the marketing concept starting from the market and focus on the customer needs and means integrated marketing and ends with profits through customer satisfaction. Now we can classify the marketing research into 2 categories. What's the important 2 categories for the marketing research? We have 2 types: problem identification research and problem solving research. The problem identification research that is undertaken to help identify problems that are not necessarily apparent on the surface and yet exists on or are likely to arise in the future. Then this type of marketing research help to identify the problem that are not apparent on the surface. And the second type, the problem solving research, this research undertaken to help solve a specific marketing problem or a specific marketing situation. In the classification of the marketing research, in the problem identification research, like market potential research and market share research, image research, market characteristics research, sales analysis research, forecasting research, and the business trends research. All these types of researches classified with the problem identification research. And the second type of the problem solving research may be in the segmentation research, product research, pricing research, promotion research, or in the distributing research. Here in this table, there are many different examples for the problem solving research. There are examples in segmentation, like select the target markets and create lifestyle profiles. Here, one example in the product research, like the package tests, and in an example in the pricing research, like the product line pricing. There are many examples here in this table, but we will take one example. The promotional research, like the media decisions or the creative advertising tests, and the distribution research, like the type of distribution and the channel margins. The marketing research process is the most important process in this course, and you should know and understand every step and every stage of this marketing research process to know how to make this marketing research. Here, the marketing research process, a step of six steps that a set of six steps that defines the tasks to be accomplished in conducting a marketing research study. These include problem definition, development of an approach to the problem, research design, formulation, fieldwork, data preparation and analysis, and report preparation and presentation for this marketing research. Here in this figure, this figure shows the marketing research process in his 6 steps. Step number 1, defining the problem. Step number 2, developing an approach to the problem. Step number 3, formulating a research design. Step number 4, doing field work on collection data. Step number 5, preparing and analyzing data. Step number 6, preparing and presenting the report. So we can say here in the first step for the defining the problem, we can say that it's the most important step for the research, for the marketing research process, for defining the problem very well and make a good defining for this problem. The step number 2, the developing an approach to the problem. It may include conduct exploratory research analysis of secondary data and quantitative and qualitative research, and formulate the research hypothesis by including analytical models and quantitative research. Then the second step not only included the qualitative research but also the quantitative research. And here in the third step is formulating research design. This formulating research design included the methods for collecting quantitative data like survey, observation, and experimentation, and included the measurement and scale. After we make the measurement and scale, as a marketing researcher, I will design the questionnaire and then making the sampling process and sample size. All this in the second 3. Then in the step number 4, doing field work and collect the data. This is the harder step to the research, that to reach the target audience, the more expensive it is to collect data. Then step number 5, preparing the data for analyzing and analyze the data. Researchers normally use in this step a statistical package such as SPSS, Excel or SAS, and here in this step SPSS is the most popular tool in survey research. And the final step, and step number 6, preparing and presenting the report and make a presentation. This by designing a presentation slides, may using the figures and tables to present this marketing research process. We will define this marketing research process in details step by step. Here, the first step, step number 1, the problem definition. In defining the problem, the managers may express a concern and define the problem from managerial perspective, which is not always helpful in doing market research. For instance, they may tell you the sales drops. However, this could be a symptom or a phenomenon for a much deeper problem that gives rise to the symptom. The reason for the sales to drop might be that the consumer preferences have changed. This would be the real problem. As a researcher, you then need to gather information about the changing customer preferences and examine the relationship between the changing customer preference, their perception of the company's product, and their purchase. All aspects of the information about customer preferences will be what you need to find out from the research. So you can define the problem here as perhaps to understand how consumer preferences might have changed and its impact on their attitudes toward current product offering. Then in the first step here, we can say that in our slide, the first step in any marketing research project is to define the problem. This is the most important step because this is like the foundation for the rest of your research. In defining the problem, the researcher should take into account the purpose of the study, the relevant background information, the information needed, and how it will be used in decision making. For instance, the sales drops as we said here. So, the researcher can define the problem as to understand how consumer preferences might have changed and its impact on their attitudes toward the current product offering. Step number 2, developing an approach to the problem. In developing an approach, it includes conduct exploratory research, analysis of secondary data, qualitative research, and formulating research hypotheses, including analytical methods, analytical models, and quantitative research. So, in the development of an approach to the problem includes formulating an objective or theoretical framework, included also the analytical models, research questions, and hypotheses, and identifying the information needed. This process is guided by discussions with management and industry experts, analysis of secondary data, and qualitative research, we can make this identification of the variables like the sales declining because of poor quality, poor packaging, high pricing, poor distribution channels, poor image, and etc. Then the problem should be defined well and then making and developing an approach to this problem. What we mean with the hypothesis. Hypotheses are statement of the expected relation among the concepts states in hypothesis. For example, changing customer preferences will have a negative impact on attitude toward the product. We mean with this hypothesis that the increasing in the consumer preferences and different in the consumer preferences will have decreasing the attitude toward the product. There are a negative relationship. Step number 3, the research design formulation. In the research design formulation, we have 4 important points here. The methods for collecting quantitative data like surveys, observations, and experiments, and the measurement and scale, and then the marketing researchers should design the questionnaire and the sampling process and sample size here is very important point. Then in our slide here, the formulating the research design involves the following steps: definition of the information needed and the secondary data analysis. We make analysis for the secondary data, qualitative research, and the methods for collecting the quantitative data by survey, observation, and experimentation, the measurement and scaling procedures, and the marketing researcher should design the questionnaire, then choose the sample and make the sampling process and sample size, and the final point in this step, plan of data analysis. Step number 4, field work or data collection. Where and why we will collect this data. Data collection involves a field force or staff that operates either in the field, as in the case of personal interviewing, in-home, mall in intercept, or computer assisted personal interviewing from an office by telephone or computer assisted telephone interviewing, or through mail, traditional mail and mail surveys. All this field works for collect the data for the marketing research. This is the harder step to reach the target audience, and the more expensive is to collect the data. Step number 5, the data preparation and analysis. In the data preparation and analysis, researchers normally use here statistics package like SPSS and Excel or SAS. So, in the data preparation includes the editing, coding, and verification of data. Each questionnaire or observation form is inspected or edited, and if necessary corrected. Number of letters codes are assigned to represent each response to each question in the questionnaire. So this is the stage of data preparation and analyzing this data. In this step, we can analyze the data by using a statistical package such as SPSS, Excel, or SAS, but the SPSS is the most popular tool in survey research. Here in step number 6, preparing a report presentation and preparation. This is making by designing the presentation slides. The entire project should be documented in a written report that addresses the specific research questions, describes the approach, the research design, data collection and data analysis procedures adopted, and presents the results and the major findings. The findings should be presented. Here, the researcher should present these findings of the research in a comprehensible format so that management can use them in the decision-making process, and the researcher should make the oral presentation and should be made to management using the tables, figures, and graphs to show and enhance clarity and impact by designing presentation slides. Here, an example for the marketing research process from step number 1 to step number 6. You can read this example for more understanding for the marketing research process. And here, the role of marketing research in the marketing decision making. The role of marketing research in the marketing decision making. Here in the middle, the marketing research. The marketing research, like any system, have environment here in the right and in the left. Environment may be uncontrollable environment factors or controllable marketing variables. Uncontrollable like economy, technology, laws and regulation, social and cultural factors, political factors, but the controllable marketing variables like product, pricing, promotion, distribution. The marketing research have customer groups. It may be consumers, employees, shareholders, suppliers. All these groups, the marketing research interact with them. In the marketing research process, we assess information needs and providing information, then making the marketing decision making. Then take the important marketing decision for the company. Here in the end, the marketing managers or management, the market segmentation, target market selection, marketing programs, performance and control. Then the marketing research helps the marketers to take decisions in these 4 important situations: the market segmentation, target market selection, marketing programs, and performance and control. Ethics in research or ethics in the marketing research. Ethics should be found in every stage in the marketing research. The ethical behavior is required in every step of marketing research. In step number 1, the problem definition. Don't use survey for fundraising. Don't incorporate your personal agenda in the problem definition. Don't waste money on unnecessary research. In step number 2, developing an approach. Don't use findings of another project. It's an ethical point. Acknowledge or pay if you used it. If you need this projects of another companies or another person, you should pay to use this source of data. In the step of the research design, don't formulate a design that is desired by the researcher. Rather have one for client using outdated secondary data. Maintain secrecy of respondents. Don't mislead respondents. Not checking the reliability or validity of the model. Based reporting, inaccurate reporting, etc.